Do you ever wonder, how am I going to make it through to bedtime? How will I make it to the weekend? Or how will I ever get through this long, hard season with my kids? If you're a mom, you've likely asked those questions over and over again. Hi, I'm Sarah Short. I'm a busy mom of 5 kids, and after almost 2 decades of parenting and asking myself those same questions, I'm here to share with you some of the best ways to navigate through your days as a mom. From life with a newborn, to toddlers, to teenagers, and everything in between, I'll teach you how to walk through every season of motherhood with courage and creativity, and come out on the other side smarter and wiser, all while creating great relationships with your kids and a home life you love. My Nana once told me, there's no way but through. Turns out she was right, in life and in motherhood. So throw your hair in a messy bun, grab your coffee, and come have a seat as we talk about all things mom. This is the No Way But Through podcast. Welcome to the No Way But Through podcast. I am so glad you're here. This has been a dream in my heart for a really long time, and I'm so glad to finally be sitting here chatting with you today. If you don't know me, I'm Sarah Short. I'm a busy mom of 5 kids. I have 1 in college, 2 in high school, 1 in middle school, and 1 still in elementary. So that means I've had 5 newborns, 5 toddlers, 5 kids that I've sent off to kindergarten, and I currently have 4 teenage boys in my house. So can we please talk about how expensive groceries have gotten? I am still deep in the thick of motherhood, where I know so many of you listening today are. When I was a young mom, the moms that taught me the most and the moms that I learned from the best were moms that were still in it, but just a few years ahead of me. I was having babies and their kids were teenagers. They were not so far removed from the days I was in that they'd forgotten how hard it was. They didn't say things to me like, the days are long, but the years are short, because that is about the least helpful thing to say to a sleep-deprived mom with carrots in her hair and no hot shower in sight. And they were still in it. Still learning, still wrestling through the hard days and long nights and worry and wondering if they were getting things right. I am still wondering if I'm getting it right. I'm still in this with you. And I remember how hard it all was when they were really little. When my oldest, who is now 19, was 1, we moved from the East Coast to the Midwest and away from all of our family and any help and any free babysitting. And I spent the next 5 years trying to find my way as a new mom. I had 2 more babies in those 5 years, and it was during those years that I began to cling so tightly to something my Nana had told me in high school, which leads me to the name of this podcast. Why No Way But Through? Well, during a really heartbreaking season in my teenage years, I was laying on my Nana's sofa telling her the details of how I'd landed on her burgundy velvet cushions with an absolutely shattered heart, and silently hoping she had the quick fix out of my current heartache and into some joy again. She looked at me and said, "Sarah, there's no way but through." Well, I didn't want to hear that. I wanted off this heartache train leading straight for a gloomy tunnel, and I wanted out. I didn't want any of it. The tears, the disappointment, the whys, the waiting, the hurt heart, the messiness of it all. I wanted to skip over the hard parts and just get back to really living again. Well, 30 years and 2 decades of marriage and parenting later, it turns out Nana was right. There's no way but through this one life we're living. But there is a way through that makes us better and stronger and tougher. This way is paved with intention, with creativity and fun and wisdom and resolve, and we come out on the other side of each season, embracing what we've learned, rejecting bitterness and despair, and grateful for another day to love our people well. This is true in life, and this is absolutely true in motherhood. As moms, we will face so many seasons that feel daunting and hard, and we have no idea what we're doing. But what I've found is that if we walk through each of those seasons of motherhood with grit and intention and grace for ourselves and our kids, we come out the other side better equipped, smarter, braver, and stronger to take on the next season ahead. This dream, No Way But Through, this podcast and the blog and Instagram and all the places we can connect together, they are just me pouring out to you all I've learned and am still learning on my own journey through. How to love your family well, how to parent with intentionality and courage, and how to find joy in every season we face as moms. My cup is now full of wisdom and skills and ways of thinking about my kids that I have learned from my mistakes. Oh, have I learned from my mistakes? But I've learned from my triumphs and from the moms I've looked up to who have braved this path before me and taught me so much. I am so glad you're here listening today, and I hope you'll click through to the next episode where I share a letter I wrote 10 years ago in a blog post titled To Moms of One or Two Children that has been viewed millions of times and holds 3 of the most important things I learned in my early years as a mom. I still have people send me messages 10 years later about that blog post because it was so helpful to them. I am in awe of and inspired by so many people who share their gifts and wisdom and passions that help me grow and change as a mom. And it is my hope that each time you visit here, you read the blog, or you engage with us over on Instagram, that you leave with a little something that empowers you on your own journey through. Thank you for listening today. See you next time as we talk all things mom on the No Way But Through podcast.